Good evening, everyone. How the devil are we going? Delmain, later, Sindane, good evening. How are you? We are back. We're back with some more Oni. Tonight, I want to crack on with the base a little bit, but before I go on, I have played for a few cycles off stream. I played for about 20, maybe 25 cycles, something like that, just to get the base a bit more tidied up. At the end of the last stream, you may recall we had our system over here had started to overheat a little bit. And I said I was going to get this fixed and get it up and running. Well, I did wire it up. I connected it, and it is taking a long time to cool down. I have learnt something here that I will explain in a moment. I'll go through this in a second and explain what this is properly. But I also did a couple of other odds and sods aside from sweeping up. We've now filled all of our compactors down here pretty much, so we're going to need a bigger storage space, which is something we'll do today. But I also excavated a bit more down here. Got my diggers down here and dropped our oil pump down, so we've got access to some more oil. Nerd Rage, good evening. Nailu, good evening. How are you both? I dug out a load of crap that was kicking around here because I had idle dupes constantly. I probably have idle dupes again in a second. So I dug out some of this crap. I've got plans for some stuff that I want to build today, which is why I've been digging out some of this stuff. And also, I fixed this geyser, which we started doing at the end of the last stream, but I didn't get time to finish it. So we've now got the similar system as what we've got at the top geyser working down here, which is basically a couple of wheeze warts and a thermo switch just regulating this for us and giving us a buffer of water. Aside from that, that's it really. I left the game running so that we could do some sweeping. I think we're still sat on plenty of food, so we're alright. But I've stopped cooking berry sludge, if I remember rightly, because we were running low on sleet wheat, so we do need to get some of that going. I did trap a puffed. I don't know if I remember telling you that. I trapped a puffed up here. I rescued a little freezing buddy from in here, but I've not done anything with him yet. And I don't really have any traps or anything yet to bother messing about with, so whatever. I may or may not be able to hang out long. My wife is bringing my son to hang out with me at the office while she goes to an appointment. We'll see if I can actually keep getting work done. Alright, buddy, no worries. Well, I'm going to be doing some giveaways tonight, guys. I should probably mention. I'm going to be giving away a few games tonight. In fact, I should probably get that handy. I'm also going to be giving away a copy of Oxygen Not Included, which, you know, free game. Can't really argue with that. Where the fuck did I put that text file? So bear with me 1 second. What the fuck did I do with that? Where the hell did I put that? I thought I was all organised. Giveaway codes, there we go. Okay, you can go up there. Beautiful. So yeah, we'll be giving away a few different games throughout the duration of the stream. I've got quite a few different games to give away, and obviously also that copy of Oni, which will be nice. You have a list of what's up for grabs. It's a various mix of games, to be honest. We've got games like Cluster Truck, Punch Club. I've got a copy of Road to Valhalla. What else have we got? Speedrunners, Party Hard, Guts and Glory, Verdun. There's quite a few different games in there. They're all like a 10 or a 15 quid game sort of thing. So some of them you might have picked up yourselves cheap on like Steam deals and stuff, but it's just what I've had in my game library, so I figured I might as well share them. Obviously last time we gave away some games like Vermintide and Banner Saga and things like that I just had kicking around, so. But we'll do these throughout the course of the night, and then obviously we've got the Oni one that I'll probably do later on in the stream. So that's that. But what I want to do today, the main thing that we need to look at now, we've got some crops in place down here, right? And obviously these are great. We can automate these very easily with some conveyor arms, you know, sweeper arms and things like that. But what I want to do is start getting some cold water. So we're going to look at doing some water cooling today. Don't cross streams. Nice. Thank you very much for the follow, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're going to start looking at doing some water cooling because a lot of people have been asking me about it. Obviously, I've done the videos on YouTube and stuff about it, but it's different seeing something get built in normal game. So, I'm just going to jump into my debug world to show you something I've been tinkering with. And see if you like it. Nerd, you just have to be here. Got to be in it to win it, buddy. I'll show you the build that I've made. It's a build that I'm planning on being able to cool different temperatures of water for me all in one build. I've not run it for very long yet. I've sort of theory crafted it in the 20 minutes before I went live tonight. I'm hoping it works. We will see. So yeah, I'll just show you the blueprint of this, then I'll try and build it from memory in the normal game. If this loads. Now, I've not got debug enabled at the minute, so I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do, but I can at least show you it running, I think. Okay. So, this is the build. Okay. So, what we've basically got here is an aqua tuner in some petroleum, and all this is sealed off. Excuse me. Below here, we've got a couple of wheezeworts, or 4 wheezeworts in this case. We might actually put a couple more in. And all they're doing is basically trying to cool our aqua tuner off a little bit. Now, the aqua tuner doesn't run full whack. It is often toggled off and toggled back on. It's a bit intermittent. But what we basically have is water coming into a holding tank. We've got our water source, which is geyser water, say 90-degree water, something like that. That comes into here and tops up this main tank. And then our water basically goes through our aqua tuner or bypasses our aqua tuner, depending on this switch. And it basically goes along this path here. Okay. Now in this room I've just got some hydrogen. It was just that bumped in a bit of hydrogen to help, but it just really needs to be one gas in here, I think. I do have a single tile of oxygen, which is probably going to troll me. Realistically, we want to make this a vacuum and just pump in one gas to be safe, because otherwise you get things like this where I've got a pocket of oxygen trapped. But all this basically does is pumps our liquid into this vent, and then as long as the liquid is below a certain temperature, it goes on its merry way and ends up in our end tank. So we're getting water at like 11 degrees, 12 degrees. Alright? If not, this door will open and it'll drop down here. Now at the minute, again, I'm being trolled by this packet of oxygen, but hopefully that'll move in a second. Now, our temperature must have gone up a little bit there, so it dumped the water back into this tank to be processed again. And that's basically how this works. So this door will shut and water can start trickling into here. We're getting some nice water at 12 degrees. And then it toggles open. Then it shuts, and we start getting some more water. And it's basically giving us water at the temperature we want. Precisely! Good evening, how are you? What's with the cold shoulders? Lash should run his water. Lash should run his water by you all, and that'll be plenty cool. I know they're being horrible to you tonight, nerd. What the hell? So this is the build. This is what I want to try and build tonight. I showed this one on YouTube, and this is great, but I do have to build it around an anti-entropy thermonullifier, which I don't really want to do. It works. We get lots of water from it. I've disconnected it now because I wanted to build this one. I like this build. It's quite compact, and it should give us quite a lot of water. I think it should be good. Oh, everyone's being nice to you, just not to each other. I see. So, this is what I want to build tonight. Now, it's going to be a bit of a ball ache, because I'm going to have to build it from memory. I've only built it in debug. I've only built it once, and I built it about, as I say, 30 minutes ago, something like that, 40 minutes ago. I think we can do it. I'm confident we can do it. It seems to be pretty easy to build. This is the build, but you can see how quickly we're getting water. Should work quite nicely. Can you re-explain the cooling? I was watching chat drama and didn't hear what the right side does. Okay. I can simplify this really easy. Pump here is pumping in our water. This is a holding tank. Pumps into the aqua tuner, which is here. Unless the aqua tuner doesn't need to cool the water, in which case it bypasses the water. Okay, and then our other pump down here is in really hot geyser water, and that just tops up the system because we're going to lose some water occasionally into our tank here. This tank. See you later, darling. Bye. That's the lady going to work. Sorry. This right tank is basically our finished product water, so I want it to be, you know, like 12 degrees ish. So this is for bristle blossoms, for example, and that'll give us our nice water for the room. Yeah, this door here basically triggers whether the water goes into our end tank or goes on its merry way and goes back into the cooling system and just gets cycled through. So you'll see that the moment the tepidizer isn't working, the aqua tuner, sorry, isn't working. It's getting bypassed, and only when liquid starts coming out of this pipe is it working. So if I look at the thermo switch, 13.2 degrees, 13.3. So you can see we're sort of getting the most efficiency out of our aqua tuner as possible. And now aqua tuner's kicked on for a second, pumped out some more cold water. And that's what we're doing. So we're sort of running our water over gas permeable tiles. Are your two thermo switches set to the same numbers? I should probably show you the automation. Okay, automation is actually really simple. This thermo hydro sensor down here is just a toggle on this bottom pump, just to keep our water, like whenever this tile is empty, pump some water in, basically. So this is like if below a kilo, pump some water in. That's why it's floating in midair. In here, we have a thermo sensor connected to this door. Nailu, you will notice I didn't do it the way that I like to do it. I did it your derpy way, which I don't like because it confuses me. But if this room goes... Wait, let me get this right. As long as this liquid here is above 10 degrees, this door will stay shut. If it goes below 10 degrees, the door will open so that we don't freeze our oil. But this is pretty much going to be shut most of the time. Alright? Nailu, I did it your way. It confused the fuck out of me. I don't like it this way, but I did it your way. Alright? The other switch is up here. We've got an AND gate, okay? Now this switch is what controls our door. So this switch is basically saying, if you are above 14 degrees, open this door, okay? And also send a signal to this AND gate, which is half the signal. So this one plus this one. If you are below 50 degrees, so this is testing the temperature of our aqua tuner. So as long as you are below 50 degrees in here, and as long as this door is open and we're cycling warm water, pump it into here. Okay? What's the other way? I like to put a NOT gate in Delmain so it makes sense how I word it. That's what I like to do. But now you're not wasting 25 kilos of refined iron. Fair enough. So there you go. It was so that logically to me it made sense. But Naylor didn't like it because he likes logic, I suppose. Anyway, that's basically the system. That's it. It's really easy. I've been trying to make systems that are so simple that we can integrate them into normal game without it being too much of a drama. I've seen a lot of people putting really complicated builds on the forums and on YouTube, and they're not possible to build in a normal game unless you've got the patience of a saint. So this should be easy to do, in theory. That's my plan. So my thinking is in our normal world, we'll put a little pump up here to vacuum the world, for example, a little gas pump, vacuum this into a vacuum, vacuum all the gases out, and then we'll have a little vent pumping in some hydrogen, and we can just seal this as we go out, pumping out petroleum. I think we can get this done. I think we can get it done. So that's my idea, and as you can see, we seem to be getting nicely cooled water. Now, it doesn't seem to be using any sort of drip exploits. I know people are very sensitive about that at the minute. It's obviously something I've been telling people off for. We are getting warm water coming back into the system, but we're mixing a warm body of water into a large body of cooler water. So we are seeing a heat increase as the water comes out of this vent. We're then cooling it off with a big old deluge of, 10-degree water from above. But you can see we're still maintaining our heat in the water. We're still warmer than it was. So I'm thinking this is about as legit as we can get without killing ourselves, realistically. So there you go. Good evening, Mex. How are you, buddy? You had a business call while you explained the automation. God damn it, nerd. Basically, nerd, it puts water from here into there. If it's too warm, it opens this door. If it's the right temperature, it goes into here. That's it. That's all there is to it, mate. I'll probably have like a thermo switch in here to turn the whole system off if we go above a hydro sensor. If we go above a certain level, toggle the whole thing off. But that's that. So I just thought I'd show you that. I'll probably have to come back into this at some point again and just familiarise myself, but that's what I want to build today. That is the plan. I should have took a screenshot. Bollocks. Should have took a screenshot from the other screen. Oh well. That is the plan. The only thing we are probably going to need alongside this is more power. So I've noticed that if we start running our oil refineries and plastic processing and all that shit, we start really struggling for power because we've only got those few natural gas gens and coal gens and hydrogen gens at the minute, which isn't a massive amount really. Not for the sort of late game water cooling and stuff that we want to get into. So I may need to build some more power as well. So we'll have to have a look. Nice. I think I updated the quote log from last night, by the way, but I'll have to check. Let me just do a quick check. It should be updated. There we go. So, somebody mentioned on the forums, by the way, that they've changed the automation slot on hydrogen gens. I think it might have been an old post. Oh, I ran a bit of wire there. So, as I say, on the base front, everything's pretty fine. We do have some idle dupes, because realistically I've tidied up most of what I wanted to tidy up. We've run out of storage space. These 3 top drawers here are on a sweep only, so that I can cherry pick what to sweep. So now I really need to decide where I want to build this cooler. So my thinking is we'll probably have bristle blossoms maybe down here. Or maybe we could do them outside the base altogether. I don't really know. Is that Sindane's sign? Is that from last night? I like that. So yeah, I'm debating where to do our blossoms. I'm thinking we'll leave some of this space up here for more power. This thing needs to be ripped out over here because this is now redundant. And I should explain, this is working, but it's taking a long time to cool off. Basically, I built all of this system using the new changed igneous rock. And although it's great and incredibly stable, it's warm. And again, the petroleum that I pumped in and the crude oil that I pumped in was hot, like 80-degree crude oil. So it's going to take a while to cool off. We are getting a bit of oxygen occasionally, but it does mean me having to toggle warm oxygen into the base, which I don't want to do just yet. So what I did, I just connected these 2 deoxidizers back up. So at the moment, we're all right. We've got a bit of a buffer. This will cool down eventually, I believe. I hope. I think. However, I am getting some weird liquid mechanics. So look at my radiator. I have a B radiator. Look at this. I bet I can never get it perfectly lined up like that again. Look at this. It's pumping tiny amounts of petroleum and also crude oil. They've changed how liquid pumps work without me realising. So although this liquid pump is technically should only be drawing from the bottom, it's not. It's drawing from all 4 tiles. I didn't realise they changed that. So I've now got a 50% efficient radiator, or maybe a 60% efficient radiator, which is slowing this down a little bit as well. Which sucks a little bit. I don't quite know how to fix it apart from taking the petroleum out of there, which, if I'm honest, was an arseache. And I also pumped too much oil up here, so I've got a little pool of residual oil that I need to get rid of at some point. If you remember, I built a tank here and dropped off the petroleum, and then I pumped that back in up here. But yeah, this is really weird. Oh, Wintermute, good evening, buddy. How are you? Start logging temperatures per cycle and see if there's a downward trend. Well, I am still pumping oxygen in here. So in here, I've sort of primed the room. Got a little bit of troll packets here and there, but we do have oxygen in here. I'm very well, thank you, buddy. Very well. Yeah, he did change the sign. He got me back. Yeah, what I was doing was basically keeping an eye on these corner tiles to see what they were at. Now, a few cycles back, this was at like 60 degrees nearly, so it will cool down. It's just going to take a bit of time. And there's a lot of liquid to be cooling here and a lot of mass because of all these temp shift plates. It's a gradual change, but I prefer systems like that because they then will stay stable for longer, hopefully. But we'll keep an eye on it. In the meantime, I'm going to start ripping out all this crap, so why not? I don't think there's any wiring behind here that I need. I need to be careful with a bit of the gas piping though, because some of this is mine. So let's just deconstruct all. It's going to be a bit of an arseache, this. So I'll just queue this up and then we'll unpause and leave them to it a little bit. We can hop across here as well. We need to get all this oil and stuff out of there as well. I'm very good, thank you, Winter. Very good. Very good. Just trying to get this base somewhere near sorted, if I'm honest. I want to get some water cooling and stuff done today. That is the dream. Yeah, we have many, many active dupes now, so doing stuff like this should be very quick. Hopefully. All being well. Get rid of all this crap as well if we can. Think of all the resources we'll get back of this. We should have loads of stuff. Let's see. I'm not going to be able to mop this oil up, I don't think. I might have to leave in a little. So I might just leave all the oil here. I'm sure it'll be fine. Right, let's get rid of some of these ladders as well. Okay, we can get rid of all you. So this is the old system, out with the old, in with the new. This should work, it will take time. I have faith, I believe. I'm sure it'll be okay. Get rid of all this crap, get rid of you. This will fix later. And let's get rid of gas pipes here.